Valentine's Day is coming up soon. And for many people, it is a time to express love to someone they care about. For others, it may be a time of remembering somebody who is no longer with them. For others, it is a time of loneliness and pain. February is also called Heart Health Month. In today's video, I want to share some tips that might help you in your healing process. Hi, I'm Mary Bourne, traditional naturopath, and I love sharing natural remedies with people. Natural remedies have been around for hundreds, even thousands of years because they work, and they work on people and often pets too. So rose is a beautiful bloom. There are so many varieties of them. And this particular rose is a wild rose that's grown mostly in California and parts of Oregon. And it is a beautiful rose. The scent of it is so pleasant. And when you buy roses, normally a florist will cut off the thorns, but if you find roses in the wild or if you grow roses, more than likely you have experienced a thorn. And I don't grow many roses, but I do have one that is wild. It's a white rose. And I have to cut it down every season because it will take over. It is a climbing rose and I love the scent of it. It just wafts across my garden, and for quite a distance I can smell it. And every time I trim it, no matter how thick a glove or how careful I am, I'm always stabbed by one of the thorns. And I think love is like that. We have to take some pain along with the beauty. The pain can involve an illness. It can involve financial hardships. There's many, many different kinds of pains. There's physical pain and there's emotional pain. And often love isn't enough. Sometimes you have to say goodbye because your values aren't the same. And the constant discord between the two of you is not compensated by the love that you feel. Now, many marriages have come to terms with different things, and they think that the hurt is compensated by the love, and that's something each individual has to come to terms with. However, I love this saying from Corinthians, and there are quite a few variations of it, but it says that love is always patient and kind, and love is never jealous, and love is not boastful or conceited. It isn't rude and never seeks to its own advantage. It does not take offense or store up grievances. Love does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but finds its joy in the truth. It is always ready to make allowances, to trust, to hope, and to endure whenever it comes. Love never comes to an end. So in other words, you can keep on loving somebody even though they're no longer with you. It doesn't end. And here's what it doesn't say. It doesn't say love is easy, love is fun, nor does it state one should abuse. And yet some live in some version of this with the false impression of love. We must hold each other accountable and know that this is part of love. So there is balance in everything. There's the healing benefits of this beautiful flower, and the 5 petals kind of reminds me of the head, the arms, and the legs of a person. And keeping those all in balance is so very important. Respect and friendship is part of love. When these are lost, trust is difficult. When one makes love, it is sharing of vulnerability and trust. Otherwise, it's just sex. Love is a whole different level that is difficult to explain unless you've experienced it. Love is sharing one's heart. When a mother goes through the pain of childbirth and she hangs on to that child for the first time, there is a sharing, a bonding that occurs. And it's almost like all the pain of childbirth was worth that moment, holding that baby and enjoying the love of that child, and understanding too that you have a responsibility toward that child. It isn't all just joy, that there's going to be some hardships along the way. So love is an energy, and it can be damaged by grief. And California wild rose is a flower essence that helps us to heal this energy. The wild rose has 5 petals, like I explained, and it is part of the remedy that's called open heart. And I've used this many times in my practice as a emotional healing facilitator. So this class is basically a primer for healing the heart and the emotions. So hopefully you can learn something from this. And if you do, I hope you give me a thumbs up and share it with others that may be clicking into your mind as we go through these different beautiful remedies. Now, the open heart includes, of course, the California wild rose. And the next remedy that's in this recipe is called baby blue eyes. Now, I've put pictures. There's the California rose, and here's the baby blue eyes. It is a delight to look at, and it simply exudes innocence. And oftentimes we lose that innocence and never gain back the joy of it in wonder. It is important to keep our desire for wonder and openness throughout our life. And baby blue eyes will help people who have felt betrayed or disappointment or maltreatment and victims of violence, especially from what's considered a yang force. Now, this often is male, but it can be from a domineering female. And when somebody has trusted that person to their welfare, it can be a really harsh thing. And people respond in different ways. But most times we will go internal and close up ourselves and stop us from ever experiencing love again. And of course, that's an imbalance, and we want to move away from that. We need to be open if we're going to experience love. So baby blue eyes is really helpful for people who want to heal from that intense disappointment. The next is Yerba Santa. Now, Yerba Santa is from the same family of plants as baby blue eyes. They have this water element to them, and it lends to a little bit different. And I like Yerba Santa in the herbal form as well as the flower essence form. And I want to explain on that on another video, because I think there are so many of these herbs that even when we take the herb, they can help with the emotional hurt. But Yerba Santa is known for its ability to coat the mucous membranes. So it softens and helps with the mucilent system. It also helps and calms when people have been barbed, like I talked about with the thorn, people who have been injured by a jab of some sort. And oftentimes these can be hurtful in what people say to you, and they will jab at you, and that damages your self-esteem or how you feel about yourself. So Yerba Santa is very beneficial for that type of thing so that you don't harden your heart. The next is star tulip. Now, if you look closely at the star tulip, you can see it has it's 3 petals. It is this fuzzy petals, much like an ear. If you've ever looked into an ear, the little hair that are associated with the ear that help the sound to be driven into the eardrum, it is very much like the anatomy of the human ear. And what flower essence experts have said is that star tulip is for listening. And sometimes we have to shut off our own voice so that we can hear what else is going on, what the other person is saying. And oftentimes it is to hear what is being said inside us. And a lot of times we have all these voices and we have to shut these voices off. And so Yerba Santa, star tulip is very much like that, where it helps you to focus on what is it that you have to hear? What's important for you to bring back joy in your life? So physical health and emotional health are very much dependent on each other. My YouTube channel focuses on herbs and food and natural remedies. And flower essences are something that not many people know about. It's vibrational medicine that helps you to move through vibrations into a balanced and happier life. It helps you understand your memories, to be able to separate them and determine really what was going on during that time. Because oftentimes if you share a movie with somebody, you each will have different views on what went on in that movie. And sometimes I know from a family of 4 other siblings, and the ranges of ages and what was going on in their life and my life at the time of certain circumstances is how we can come up with totally different scenarios of what went on during a certain time. So sometimes we come up with the most hurtful scenario when really, in all innocence, it wasn't like that at all. But because we've lived with that for so long, we can't disassociate it. So Star Tulip helps us to create better memories, listening to ourselves, and to learn about forgiveness, that type of thing. Now, evening primrose is this beautiful yellow flower, and it too has some very wonderful physical attributes. It helps to balance the female cycle. The female cycle is very much in tune with the moon and the cycles of the moon and the energies of that. And many times people who get out of sync, where they are awake until 2, 3 in the morning, and then they sleep during the morning hours. And this is out of sync with the moon phases. And it really is more healthful to sleep when it's dark and be awake when it's light. And many people get out of sync with that. And so evening primrose actually helps people get back into sync. Now, this is another, when we have different challenges or bridges that we have to cross. So a bridge from being a child to an adult, or being from an adult to a parent, or moving through these different stages, retirement, being alone. There are many different stages in our life, and oftentimes we need some emotional support to help us into that next chapter. Now, pink monkey flower is a remedy for those who feel shame and guilt or unworthiness. Now, unfortunately, a lot of children are raised with this shame on you type of thing. And that doesn't really accomplish a whole lot. Pink monkey flower is beneficial for those people who need courage to face their abuse, who need courage to be able to stand up for their rights and to know what those rights are, you know. Many times we've been told that, well, you don't have the right to do that. But that's their person's opinion and not necessarily the reality of the situation. So we need to realize that we're human and that forgiveness is part of humanity. We make mistakes, and that's also part of being human. And to rise above those mistakes and figure out what you can do to avoid them in the future is necessary. So the next one is golden eardrops. Very unusual looking flower, and it has helped when people have to rise up out of toxic experiences. Now, sometimes that toxic experience can be childhood, sometimes it could be a bad marriage, and it affects present time situations. And even though it happened years and years ago, it pops up and it makes you react rather than act upon certain circumstances. So oftentimes there is a misunderstanding of what really happened. And so rising above, you can see how beautiful this flower is, and it almost like pushes up out of the petals, almost push up. Now, in taking Open Heart, it is a liquid. It is different than essential oils. Essential oils have definite scents and not recommended generally for taking internally. whereas a flower essence is recommended to take internally. These are made in a glycerin base, so they're good for children or recovering alcoholics. And if you follow the link in the description below, you can get 25% off of your total purchase. So just use the link in the description so that you can get that flower essence at a discount. They're easy to use. You can put them in water and sip on them all day. There are a variety of ways. There are some people that even put them in their bath. Understanding that energy is all around us and within us. And so changing that energy can include a lot of different things. So if you work at something in a three-pronged or multi-pronged way, it is going to be more beneficial than just like, okay, I'm going to change my diet. But then your attitude or your emotions destroy any good that diet may incur. So looking at things in a different way is a really big part of healing. And eating the right foods, of course, is good. Taking supplements is good. So if you need specific help, you can contact me at Dr. Mary at bornforhealth.com. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I'd love to hear from you. If you'd like to give me a comment and subscribe. I have a plethora of videos that talk about natural health means, and I would love for you to share these videos with your friends that may need some support and help. Food is our best medicine. And what you can eat can either contribute to good health or destroy it. So make 2022 a wonderful and healthy year for you. Remember, the purpose of these videos is to help you understand that herbs are food and they help our body get into balance. Disease occurs when the body is out of balance, and doctors prescribe and diagnose disease. And that's not what this video is all about. Natural medicine works with these imbalances to try to get back into balance so the body doesn't have to present disease. So get control of your health by focusing on herbs, healthy eating, healthy thoughts, good emotions, and be thankful for all the lovely nature around you, even though like right now there's quite a bit of snow on the ground and it's pretty chilly outside. I'm grateful for the beauty that can present. I love all the seasons, and that's why we live in Michigan. So be thankful for all this, and until next time, I want to thank you for viewing. This is Dr. Mary for the health of it.